He's out now, and it's causing a stir. Travis Kelce opened up like never before. He thought about retiring, talked about the defeat in Super Bowl 59, and even hinted that he might become a TV commentator after the NFL. But what really shocked was him admitting, live on air, that Tom Brady's billion-dollar contract with Fox was what sparked this idea. And it doesn't stop there. The Chiefs have let some valuable players slip away this offseason, and there are some big names on that list who could be missed when the ball starts flying. Joe Thuney, Justin Watson, Tommy Townsend. You can bet there are fans scratching their heads and asking, did we just leave it too soon? So hold on tight, because today's video is packed with hot behind-the-scenes footage, unexpected confessions, tactical analysis, and of course, that naughty spice to help us understand what's going on in Kansas City. Stay with me until the end, because today's talk is serious and much deeper than it seems. Let's get straight to the point. Travis Kelce almost retired. That's right. After losing Super Bowl 59, he sat down, thought, and considered whether that might be his last game as a professional. And let's face it, going out with a loss in the playoffs? That's not the end of a career that one of the greatest tight ends in history deserves. No podcast bussin' with the boys. Kelce spoke without filter. He said that the bitter taste of that defeat weighed heavily, that he had doubts. Have I given everything I had? And what's more, he said that he talked about it with his girlfriend, Taylor Swift. In other words, the whole thing was very real. But in the end, he decided to come back. At 35 years old, he no longer has the physical explosiveness he once had, but the guy is still elite. In 2024, he had more than 950 yards, 110 receptions, and 4 touchdowns. In 19 games. Even though his body is hurting, he wants more. He wants to come out on top. He wants to go for his 4th ring. And do you know what was the phrase that stuck with him the most? This can't be my last game. Man, that gives any football fan goosebumps. Kelce is one of those guys who plays with his heart. And when he says that, we feel like there's more history to come. And that's where the most curious side of this story comes in. What comes next for Kelce the player? Because he already has a podcast with his brother Jason Kelce, he's already appeared in a series, he's already hosted a game show, but now he's really got his eye on the broadcast booth. And where did the push for this idea come from? Of course, Tom Brady's absolutely ridiculous contract with Fox Sports. 10 years, $375 million. That's top-tier quarterback money, and it messed with a lot of people's heads. In the same podcast, The Bussin' with the Boys, Kelce was pressured. You saw that Brady contract and thought, I can do that too. And he didn't run away. No, he said, it was a lot of money. But I always thought this narrating thing was fun. I always imitated the guys when I was a kid. Now, when did they ask him to improvise a commentary right there and then? He gave that mischievous backtrack. No, sir, I'm out, and burst out laughing. In other words, he has the will and the charisma, but he knows it's not easy. And he was humble enough to say that he gets confused with the names of the players, which, let's face it, is the least you can do for someone who wants to comment on a live game, right? But look, the truth is that when Kelce announces that he is retiring, there will be networks lining up. And if he wants to be the next voice of the NFL, especially there in Kansas City, to succeed the legendary Mitch Holthus, the space will be open. But before that, he still has a mission on the field. And that's the next conversation. Now, let's talk about the body, and how time takes its toll on even the best. Because Kelce himself has made no secret of the fact that he is no longer the same physically. He said he needs to plan for the entire week just to be 100% on Sunday, that the body doesn't recover the same way, and that's normal. The guy will be 36 next season, but the impressive thing is that he still delivered. He had 110 receptions, almost 1,000 yards, and all of this after a full season plus playoffs. He's still a reference, still dominant, but he knows that every season now could be his last. And that changes everything inside the locker room. The team feels when a legend is in the final stretch. The mood changes. Everyone wants to play for him, wants to give that extra something. And that's when Kelce becomes more than a player. He becomes a symbol, a kind of emotional totem for the team. And when he says he came back to make his childhood dream come true, it's not just a nice phrase, it's true. And this truth is contagious. Whether on the sideline, in the video room, or in the huddle, he carries this team in a way that we don't see in the statistics. But if you think that's all, hold on, because now comes a more tactical and provocative analysis of the impact of his departure, and of the people who have already left. You know that old saying that no one is irreplaceable? Well, there is an exception, and his name is Travis Kelce. The Chiefs may try to hide it, but the truth is this: when this guy leaves, the hole is going to be deep. Because he's not just a tight end, he's an entire cog in the offensive system. Kelce understands coverages like few others, breaks routes at the right time, blocks with precision, and most importantly, he is Mahomes' comfort zone. When everything is breaking down, he is the one Mahomes trusts. It is no wonder that he has practically become the franchise's emergency plan. And it's not just Kelce, you know? Look at the other departures this offseason. Joe Thuney, a pillar of the offensive line, left to make room in the cap. But was it worth it? Would you trade a healthy, experienced All-Pro OL to bet on adaptation? And Watson. He may not have eye-popping numbers, but he was the guy who was always there on third downs, always on the same page as Mahomes. That's worth its weight in gold. Of course he catches everything, that's the plan. And if the plan doesn't work, then everyone will wonder, why did we let these guys go? The Chiefs are betting on renewal, youth, and the cap. But when the ball rolls, the price may be higher than it seems. And the atmosphere in Kansas City? Look, it's different. The team still has Mahomes, it still has Andy Reid, it still has talent to spare. But the locker room is feeling the changes. When you lose guys like Thuney, Townsend, Watson, it's not just talent that goes away. It's leadership, routine, chemistry. Those guys who keep the group together, who hold the line under pressure, who have been through it all. Joe Thuney was highly respected. Townsend was a rock on special teams. And Watson, he was the guy Mahomes trusted with his eyes closed. Now, more than ever, Kelce's role is growing. He's the bridge between generations. He's the guy who keeps the culture alive while the cast renews itself. And if there's anyone who can make that work, it's him. But time doesn't wait. Each season, the window closes a little more. And now I want to hear from you, fan, NFL fan, Chiefs fan, or just someone curious who likes the game well played. Do you think Travis Kelce should have retired in his prime? Or was he right to come back for one more title run? If he really does go into the broadcast booth, will he be able to handle it? Or will he suffer like Brady did in the beginning? And the Chiefs? Will they regret letting guys like Joe Thuney and Justin Watson go? Comment below. Let's exchange ideas in the comments. Your opinion is very important here. And if you enjoyed this style of more direct analysis, with behind the scenes, provocation, and no bullshit, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and leave a like. This really helps us to continue bringing you top content about the NFL. Thanks so much for watching this far. We're in this together. And look, if it depends on Travis Kelce, there's still a lot of history to write in Kansas City. Let's go, and go Chiefs!